give everybody a minute to hop on. Hopefully you've got your beverages and your kit. And then the other thing that you will need, because we're going to start cutting. So for our cutting guide, I have that right here. I would recommend that you need 6 Post-its and 6 paper clips. And that will help us as we're cutting. I have them labeled on here, A, B, M, and it'll just keep us more organized. Yay, hi Amy. I know, I'm excited. I like this because we took one collector's pack, and yes, I added a few sheets of cardstock, but you're coming out with all of these pages just from one collector's essentials. And then with the make and take that we do this afternoon, these are big, and you will be able to probably make 5 more layouts just from these as a startup for it. So like this is just to show you, like that's one of our big bits, little make and take clusters. Here, I'm gonna flip this over just so you can see. I mean, look how big that is. That's already another whole page ready to go for you. So you're gonna be able to do, you know, an entire trip, or maybe you have a lot of trips and you just need 1 or 2 pages. But I like to do one trip, one collection. So I think the average person takes, you know, how many, up to 1,000 photos at Disney, right? Like, I mean, it's crazy. And then you have to narrow them down. So between Tracy's album today and then all of these layouts, I feel like you should be able to document 2 trips. So we'll see. Okay. Hi, Lori. Got some other people on here. All right. So I'm going to get my stuff set out here. So you need cutting guide. These are my samples. You're going to need Post-its and clips. And then Tracy talked about this before. This is for my make and take later. So for this, we are going to set this aside. Jamie. Yeah, I know, just 1,000. It's worse when you have, now that like my kids have phones and everyone's taking photos, so then they send them all to me and group them in an album, and yeah, it's a lot to go through. Okay, so you're gonna set the big bits aside. These are for tonight when we do our make and take, okay? So put those somewhere where you won't lose them. And then in your package, what we need first, these handy dandy guides. This is our cut file and our die cuts. I do have a few of these packages left for access only. I shipped them to some of you. So if you want to purchase these, I still have a couple left, and I can increase the number on Etsy, I think. So this we don't need yet. We're going to set this aside. We need our collector's essential kit. And then we're going to need this piece of teal grid paper. If you're access only, just find something comparable that's goes with the collection, or that's in kind of this, it's like a mint and teal. This is actually from the Retro Summer collection, which I loved. You can see the colorful, and it just goes really well with the Disney mint color that they use this time, okay? So you're gonna need that. These other ones I'm going to set aside for now because they are backgrounds and photo cardstock. Right, and then when we open our collector's essentials, this chipboard is going to be used for Tracy's album. Okay, so we need to set this aside. You will need this afternoon. If you've ever done a class with me, I have a hate-hate relationship with chipboard. I'm just not a fan. So when Tracy and I were planning this, I said, you can have the chipboard. I will not be using it. The great thing about these from Simple Stories whenever a new collection comes out, this is what I tend to buy because it comes with the chipboard, it comes with the sticker sheet, it comes with the page title. I'm gonna pull this out, we'll use it later. And then it also comes with the journal bits. So I feel like you get the best of the entire collection. The only thing I would say I always add is enamel dots, just because those are my favorite jewelry to add to a layout. But really, this is an amazing value for everything that you get. And as you're going to see today, we're going to use it and really make a ton of pages with it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take this out, get the packaging out of the way. And then we've got our papers here, and I'm also going to get the sticker sheet and the cover out of the way. Okay. One last thing that I forgot to mention. Sorry, page protector and the bag, moving out of the way. My nephew also made these. These are bookmarks that he did for us, little Mickey ones that you can clip, or I think it would be cute. Depending on what color you got, maybe you can clip it in your album or on your pages. But yeah, he's my go-to. And don't worry, he gets paid in Robux. If you have younger kids who are gamers, you know what that means. But yeah, he's always willing to take on a new project for me, which I am grateful for. Okay. All right. Okay, so once we get started with our pages, this will be the first one that we tackle. We're gonna do 3 things this morning. We're going to cut all the papers, get them organized. Then we're going to back the cut file, that's number 2. And then number 3 is start putting our pages together. Will we have enough time to get every single page assembled? Probably not, we'll try our best, but you will have everything pre-cut and you have all of the photos and the full instructions are posted in the files section on Facebook. The pocket page goes together really quickly, and I tried in the instructions to make sure that you knew which stickers were inside versus outside, because sometimes it's hard to tell when you're just looking at it on a photo. So I'm going to move these out of the way and get my trimmer. Okay, and then I'm going to do my Post-its here. A, B, C, D, that's for our layouts. And then I'm gonna do P for the pocket page and M for the make and take, okay? So those will be our 6 piles that we do when we're cutting, and that just gets us organized. So then later we just grab the pile and we put it together. So let me shift. Oh, I have to share this. I don't know if you can see it with the glare. My coaster, it says it's me. Hi, I'm the crafter. It's me. And it's glittery. Super cute. I gifted these to my friends last year too, because I was obsessed with all the glitter and all the things. Okay, moving my drinks back here. Actually, I'm gonna move them out of the way. That doesn't seem safe. Okay, and then I'm gonna put my Post-its up here. And that way you can kind of see what I'm doing. I did a wider angle this time so that you can see more, but that means you can see more of my mess, because I'm a messy worker as I do things, and then I clean up after. And sometimes it's like going through peeling back layers. You know, they say the layers of the onion. It's kind of like peeling back layers, like, oh, there's the Disney kit. Oh, there's the fall kit. Oh, there's... So as you clean my desk up, you find it all. Okay, cutting guide. We are not going to go in order of the stack. We're going to go in order of the paper, because I think that's just the easiest, so then we don't all get lost, okay? So our first paper that we want to find is this one that has the title excuse me, of our retreat, which is Magic Memories, and then it has this blue kind of confetti on the back. Go through. so you should have the magic memories with the flags and then the confetti back here. Let's move these off screen for right now. Okay, the main thing for this one is we want to center this magic memories, which is going to become a pocket on our page, our single page. And then the other two pieces, like this one will go the full width. This one, it will use the back side. It's the bottom part of our pocket. So it looks like this when it's done, because I wanted to have the yellow still showing, and then this becomes a pocket where you can add tags. You know, they give you the little stickers, they give you, I don't know, any of the freebies, right? Like, we don't get much for free in life anymore, so I keep any of the little freebies, and you can tuck it in here, okay? But we want to center our title to make sure that we have it, because that's the title for this page. And this would also be a good page just as a single if you wanted to document this weekend, but I kind of think we have Disney photos we need to document, so put this. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start by cutting off the product strip. And then I'm going to cut this top piece first, which this is the one that goes all the way across, okay? So this one is 2 1/4. All right, so it should look like that. And then this goes with M for our make and take later. Okay, then for this, we're going to only want these to be 11 inches. So I'm going to take 1/2 inch off this side, and then I'm going to take 1/2 inch off this side. Okay, and that way we have our magic memories. We didn't cut off our flags, okay? Then for our next cut, it's going to be the bottom piece right here is 4 1/4. So it's going to cut the cloud just a little bit. See how it cut into my cloud right there? Okay, so 4 1/4 right here. Okay, that ends up being our title. And then we're going to flip it over, and that ends up being the piece underneath, okay? And these will both go to layout B. Sure. All right, get these out of the way. Teeny tiny strips like this, you can keep, because they would be great to make more page clusters. We don't use them, I'm telling you that now. So if you want to keep it for you, I'm tossing mine for now, because otherwise if I kept every strip, I would drown in paper. I have so much paper. Okay, so we have that first one cut. We're gonna go across and we're going to do our tags next. The tags are pretty straightforward, with the exception of one set of score lines, which I've done a dashed line in the middle here. Most of the tags are going to be like this, where you pull it out. But this one on my pocket page unfolds. I love this, hold on to your shorts. This one unfolds, and then you can add some 2x2 photos, which is a great way to use up a lot of tags. I feel like every collection now comes with a tag page, and sometimes I struggle. I get tired of them. So being able to fold them up and use them this way, I didn't use any. Oh, I did use them on the back. On the back, they are just stuck in there. So it's just a full tag, okay? So let's shift and start cutting those. Yes, Liz, so on the sides, we took off 1/2 inch on each side, okay? So this will be 11 inches total, but I took off 1/2 on this side, and then I had turned it and taken 1/2 on this side. And that way our title stays centered, okay? All right. I'm going to move on to our tags. Cut the product strip off. Okay, so our top row of tags, easy. This First one with the Mickey ear we do not use, so that's a bonus for you, front or back. I love the back side for journaling or to add another square photo on it, okay? So this one is just extra. Next one is our blue take a photo. Then we have Let's Go, which we do not use. And then we have our final two, which are the mini and the Enjoy the Magic. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and snip these and then get them in their piles. And I'm an inker, so when we start assembling, I will ink things. And that, if you have a tiny bit of white left on your tag, it's okay, because then the ink hides it. Okay, so our take a photo goes with P because this is for our pocket page. Okay, so I'm gonna put that over here. Our Minnie Mouse and our Enjoy the Magic are both for layout B, okay, which was the one that we've already got a pile going for. All right, next row. Okay, for this one, I want to leave these three together, and then I want to cut these two off, okay? So I'm gonna keep the dot and the celebrate. I just love that this collection incorporates so much blue, because I feel like with Disney, there are a lot of years where the castle is blue with all the anniversaries and all of that, and all the collections are usually just red, black, yellow, white. So I love it that they've got these other colors in it. Okay, so our polka dot one, this also is for our pocket on this page, so that's gonna go up here in my B pile. And then Celebrate is going to go P for our pocket page. Okay, so I've got it over here. Then for this one, if you have a scoreboard, great, you can use it. I'm actually just gonna use the guide on my trimmer for right now, and I'm gonna do a score line here and here, and then I will cut after. Sorry, let me get I gotta find my bone folder. It was one tool I did not have sitting out here on my desk. Okay, so for this, if you're ever in an event and you don't have your scoreboard with you, you can use this groove on your trimmer, the cutting line, and then it ends up working and you've got your fold right there, okay? And I'm gonna do the same thing on this one, get it lined up, and just do it a couple times to make sure. Okay, so now I've got my fold. Let's see, I did it this way. You can fold it however way you want, but I was trying to do it to match my, okay, so then I've got my folding tag. And I'm gonna go ahead now and trim. Trim. Cut this one. This one. Okay. So then we have our little booklet, which is also for our pocket page, which is letter P. Let's stand it up there. Okay. That takes us to our last row of tags. And these are just simple cuts again. 1, 2, and 3. I did not use these, so you've got another bonus. And they might work really well in the album too. Go ahead and trim these up, and all of these will go with layout B. All right. This one, layout B. Okay, so we've got 2 sheets down. A few more to go, right? Get this off of here. But I think we have everything cut to be able to make this page. I'm pretty sure pile B is done because these are all just stickers and these are our photo mats. All right. So our next page is going to be our journal elements. And you can see with this, I tried to incorporate as many of the journal elements as possible, but they are almost all on the make and take. The journal elements are great to be able to stack up different pieces. I don't know if this one is celebrating right here. This one's a journal piece that we're going to be cutting, and then just layer, right? That's the idea with the clusters, is just whatever scraps and pieces you have left, just layer, 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 and then you're going to have it ready to take up a corner of the page, and then you just need your photos. Okay, so let me find it. It's the red and white polka dot on one side and the journal tags on the other. Okay, so it looks like this one. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the product strip off. And then I'm just gonna go column by column. Okay, so for our first one, it's this really nice kind of rainbow print with the tag here. Then we have this one is actually kept all together. Okay, so you've got the yellow, the Can I Have Your Autograph, and the magic. So there are 2, they both go with letter M. Next column, we're gonna do the memories card right here. Then we are going to keep the Mickey card together with the, I don't know, banner confetti card, and then chop off this photo op at the bottom. So it looks like this. Okay, so you've got the 3 different pieces. This is an extra that you don't need. And then the other 2 go with M. And some of them, just, it may be that we're using the backside. That's why, if you're questioning why I'm keeping pieces together, it might be that we're using the back for it. Okay, third column. And we saw that yellow one when I was showing you on the make and take. So you need this first card that says celebrate. The next card I did not use. Let's Ride. This one I didn't use. And then the details one, this is actually for layout D. Okay, so we have M for make and take, and then the details card is layout D. Okay, and that leaves one last column. And for this one, let me show you this way first. Okay, so for this one, we are going to cut apart. We only need the 3 tabs here. We do not use the yellow, okay? I did not use, I wanted to use this one. I tried a couple different times and it just didn't work. So this will be an extra, but I'm going to cut it off. I'm just going to eyeball it right here in between the black and the yellow. Okay, so this piece you can set aside. That's where I eyeballed it, right there. Okay, so your piece should look like this. And then for this bottom one, my cutting guide's hard. It shows that I cut it apart, so I don't know that I actually use that. I'm gonna set both of these aside for now. Okay, so the main thing on this one is this for your make and take. All right, and then we are done with that sheet. Okay, our next paper looks a lot more complicated than it is. It was easier to show on the side with the cards. Now, normally when you have the cut apart cards, I would say I would use them all. But for this one, because I have the tags, because I have the journal pieces, because I have the bits, I don't need them. So really what we're cutting on this is this. A good stripe is what ties everything together in a collection. I'm always panicked if certain collections come and there's no stripe. There needs to be a stripe to sort of make everything cohesive, right? I used the stripe. So you can see, like for this with the make and take, it just ties all the colors together. I have it in other areas where I've put it, find it on my, it's on my big layouts. So when you have a layout like this is something that's going to tie it together across the page, right? You've got the stripe, then we've got the stripe here, and then here, and it brings your eye over so that you're coming to the title and then you're seeing your photos, which is what we want to see anyway, okay? All right. I'm going to cut it this way, as the way that it's shown on your paper, just because I feel like I don't want to confuse anyone, and then we will just know that we're using it for the striped side. All right, so product strip first. Let me check comments. Everybody doing okay? It seems like hopefully you're all cutting away. Okay, so for our first two that we're doing at the top, okay? Actually, let's do the bottom. Let's do this first. This is an easy cut, all right? So this one we're gonna cut, this is the bottom row. We're gonna take the bottom row off. All right, so I want all the food. This one is a 4-inch cut, all right? Then what we need are 2 4x4 cards. Those were the photo mats on that layout that I showed you. Right here, they go behind it, okay? So we're going to cut this one at 4-inch, and we're going to cut this one at 4-inch. I'm sure it seems very unnatural to be cutting through those, but we want this side, okay? So that's what we're starting with. These are our 4x4s, and these go with layout C, okay? And you will have this one as an extra. It all started with a mouse. This one's extra, and it will just go to the side, all right? So the 2 4x4s go with C. Okay. Oh, good. Tatiana said, thank you, Tatiana. She said, okay. All right. So then I'm going to go ahead and separate our next one into our rows here. Okay. So we need, from our top piece, the Hello Magic, Wish, Dream, Believe, So Much Fun, and the castle. We are actually going to use the castle. So we're going to take this one off. Okay, this goes with our make and take. So you're going to put this in pile M. Then we're going to turn it to be able to make these next cuts. Okay, so now that we've cut that off, these should each be 3-inch, 3, 6, 9. So we have a 9-inch piece. And now we need a 9x2 and a 9x1.5. All right, so first I'm going to do my 9x2. Okay, so 9x2, looks like that. And then with what's left, I'm gonna do the 9x1.5. Okay, so then that leaves you this little strip here, which you can set aside. Okay, so we have both of our pieces, and these are both for the make and take. Okay, so that was 9x2 and 9x1.5. All right, and then our final middle strip, let me pull this out. So we need for this to be 10 inches. So I'm gonna turn this and do my 10 like this. Okay, so this piece should be 10 inches in length, okay? Then we need to make two different 1-inch strips. So we've got a 1 inch and a 1 inch. All right, this is extra. You don't need that. So here are 1 inch strips, and these go to layout C. Okay, and then we have this little piece that's left. It should already measure 2 inches. And we need these to be 2 by 1 and 2 by 1. I'll show you. They end up going right here. Okay, so it's our strip coming across, and it's these pieces that sandwich it. So we've got a 1 inch and a 1 inch. Okay, all for layout C. All right, let me grab a drink of my coffee here, and then we will move on to the 4x4 page. If you follow me on Instagram at all, which I'll give you my bio and kind of introduce myself once we're done with the cutting guide. But if you followed me on Instagram at all, in our house we are so excited about Wicked. I posted my tiered tray yesterday with my Wicked theme, and we saw Wicked this summer on Broadway in Denver, and I had seen it before, but my girls hadn't seen it live on stage, and then the movie comes out. So my coffee this morning, I don't know if you probably can't tell it's actually kind of green tinted. This is the Elphaba drink. It's really good. It's got espresso, and then it's got a little bit of peppermint and a little bit of matcha foam. Oh, it's so good. But it's green. When you have it in a cup, people are like, ooh, what is that? But it tastes, it's so refreshing. I'm not quite ready to switch over to the holiday drinks yet, so that's my my drink for now, for the next couple of weeks. Okay, so the next paper I'm going to pull out is this pink red dot, and it's the 4x4s. And this one we will cut more traditionally. This paper is the one that I told you, I added this kind of last minute. You need a 1 3/4 paper punch. I like circles. I love having circle elements. And a lot of times on these little 2x2s, if I'm stumped on what to do with them, having the 1 3/4 circle punch is perfect, because then you can go in and punch these out and use them as accents on your page. So, and you can do the same thing here, but it's just a much bigger punch. I feel like these are they're really cute to add on. Okay, so I've got my punch ready. I'm gonna take the product strip off. All right, so I'm gonna take the top row off first. It's very simple because we use those pieces. Okay, so for the first one, the Let the Magic Begin, that's gonna be for our pocket page, so that goes to pile P. The next one, Happy Day, love that font. This is for our Make and Take. This is going to go to pile M. And then this one is an extra. Okay, so that's row 1. I'm gonna actually do the bottom row next. So I'm gonna go ahead and take all of our 2x2 squares off, tuck it under here. We're gonna use our Here for the Magic, the buttons. Oh, I love the buttons. This one is for our pocket page. Then the Wish, Dream, Believe, and the ice cream cart are also for the pocket page. Okay, so all 3 of those go in pile P. Okay, the middle section. I tried to highlight in yellow circles the 3 that you will need. And then for the, I don't know what you would call it, I guess this quad 4 in the middle there, we are going to leave those together intact. All right, so let's take off, I'm gonna cut this as all 4 here. So we've got the M for the Mouse and Company and the camera. And I'm going to do these with my punch. 1, 2. The cotton candy and the Let's Go are extra, so you can put those to the side. And then I'm gonna take off the Mickey shorts and the So Fun are also extras. Okay, so you can set those aside. This I'm gonna keep together as all 4. Okay, because I tried to give us some different, like a cutting allowance. That's the word I was looking for. When we go to do our cut file, we are already pre-trimming a couple of the papers. So this one, it'll be so that you have plenty of room to trace that A, cut it out, and then attach it. All right. So this one goes, that's the popcorn, say cheese, confetti, and the hat. This goes to layout A. Okay. And then our last 2 pieces here, we have the D, the dream. And I'm going to punch that one. And then that pink castle is extra. So you can set that aside. All 3 of the circles, here, the letters, sorry, are for the pocket page. So I'm going to put those with P. So letters with P, and then the camera is for the make and take. M. Okay, and then we have 1 more paper on this side, and then we've got half of our cutting done. So the next paper that you're going to need is the 4x6 elements. I kept this very simple so that we're just using the top 2 as title pieces. So then you'll have these as extras, which I love. The Say Cheese, I just love it. I think, well, even this one too, Smiles from Ear to Ear. That's such a cute collection. All right, product strip off. And then we just need our top 2 cards right here. Okay, this one is for bonus layout D, happiest place ever. And then Magic Memories, this one is for our make and take. So this goes with M. And then you have some extras. And I like that star on the back too. Set this aside. Okay, so that is page 1. All the cuts. Yes, Barb. So the instructions are posted in the files tab, like the complete instructions. Are you access only, or are you, did you get the box? Because if you got the box, then you have the cutting guide. And I feel like once you have the cutting guide done, then you basically just put, it's sort of like just cut and paste, you know, it goes together really, really quickly. But the cutting guide and all the sample photos, everything is in the files. I've posted everything there. Okay. How are we doing? Anybody else give me a check-in? Are we ready to flip the paper over to move on? Or do we need a couple more minutes to cut? Get my space cleaned up. Okay, thank you. Elizabeth needs a minute, okay? Getting there. All right. The good news is that once we do move on to the next page, these are easy. I mean, look, they're, you know, like giant cuts. This one we don't cut at all. You know, we've done a lot of the really intricate stuff for this one and we got it done with. And then we'll be moving on to our bigger pieces that really make up the bulk of our layout. This one, which we haven't cut all the pieces yet, but this is an example of, see, that's where I used those journal pieces when we, I said that some of them, excuse me, we should keep them together because we're going to use the backside. And then some of the other ones like this came from the actual journal ephemera pack and the big bits, but this is a good size cluster that will go at the bottom. And then you've already, you know, you've got room for photos or a collage here, and you've got another page ready to go. The Mickey heads, you can get those in Cricut. I can't share them because it's all licensed. So I was really struggling with Cricut this week, trying to get things shareable. I do have the package still available, and I think I had we set it aside. Oops. But I do have the package still of the access only pieces. And then that comes with the Mickey heads in it, because I did use them in different shapes for different parts of it. So this is another one just with like the happy day. And then this one can go to the side here and just super cute. These are so fun to make when you have extras and sometimes I have paper that I get attached to and I'm not ready to just let it go. So these are super fun to just sit and play with and make with your scraps. Okay, I'm gonna move on to this Castle roller coaster paper, and then we will get through this second page. Then we'll get to our cut file. Okay, so our paper right here, this is our castle, and then on the back, more fun polka dots. And sorry, that paper went flying. So what I did, I wanted to keep as much of that castle image protected with the Ferris wheel and all of that. This is Disneyland, right? This is California Adventure, I feel like. Even though the castle is land, I feel like this, and this could be the Incredicoaster maybe. But I wanted to sort of see this image, but yet still have room for our photos. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Cutting this one. So first I'm gonna take off the product strip. Okay, oh, thank you. It is, Mickey heads are easy to do, I agree. Okay, so for our castle piece down here, we want this to be 10 inches, okay? So I've got 10 inches here, and then I've got my leftover strip up here, all right? So I'm gonna cut this at 10, so it should look like this. This extra piece, this long one, is going to be for our make and take, so you're gonna set that with pile M. And then for our castle piece, we're going to make one more cut, again at 10 inches. Okay, so we've got, this will end up being 10 by 10, and then this is the extra 2 inches for the other side of the layout. So it looks just like that. Okay, and these are both for layout C. Okay. Next one is also very simple cuts. Once you get the castle done, it's the buttons paper. This would be another really fun one to circle punch, but we are not. But I mean, all of it, they're so cute. But there's some on the sticker. There are buttons on the sticker page, and I feel like there might be some in some of the die cuts too. But yeah, this would be one where I would sit with my punch and go for it. Okay, so this one we actually use the back side, and this is for the bonus layout. And here's just part of it. It ends up being this section. Okay, so for this, we're going to take our product strip off. And then we can leave it 12 inch. We need 2 cuts. We need 4 3/4. Okay, and then this other one should be 6 3/4. So you're basically left with this, another teeny tiny little strip. All right, so you've got the 2 pieces that look like this, 4 3/4, 6 3/4. All right, and these are both for layout D. The Mickey paper, all you have to do is take the product strip off. It is our background for our cut file page. So we are not cutting into it at all. I wanted to be able to use that Mickey head. Okay, so we've got 3 of our sheets done. Oh, sorry, this is layout A, which our pile for layout A was kind of small so far. Okay, so we have the 3 sheets done, the castle, the dots, and Mickey. All right, our next one that we will move on to is our Minnie Mouse. Clean up a little bit. So for the Minnie Mouse, this is a bonus layout. I wanted to keep the ear intact, but be able to kind of tie the pink in on both sides of the page. Let me find my other. I've got too many samples here piled up. 1, 2, 3. Being so clean, and I think I've buried it on my desk here somewhere. So here, I'll use the photo to show you, because I've got my 2 pages here, and my page right here. So I'll show you on the photo, just to give people a minute to catch up. So I wanted to use the Mickey or the Minnie Mouse, but I also wanted to tie the pink to both sides. So that's why we're gonna keep as much of the ear as possible. And then with the extra piece, we're gonna put it over here. Now, the back side is this great heart that goes perfectly with Minnie Mouse. So those are our strips to tie it all together. So we used 1 sheet of paper, the whole thing, basically, to tie this 2-page layout all the way across. And then we've already cut our dot paper. Okay, so for my Minnie Mouse, I am still gonna take off the product strip just to start. Okay, so this is similar to our Magic Memories title paper. We want to keep Minnie centered, right? Just like we did with our title, we didn't want the title getting cut off on one side or the other. So for this, you really have to eyeball it to get it where you need it. So what I'm going to do is cut from the bottom first, okay? I'm gonna just line it up right here in between that row of hearts and the bottom of the mouse, okay? So it'd be an 1/8. It's almost 3/4 of an inch taken off, but not quite. It would be like 5/8. But I feel like 1/8s get confusing. So I'm using the fancy term of eyeballing it between the heart and the bottom of the mouse, okay? This is extra, you can set it aside. Now with our mini, we can turn it and actually measure it because we need it to be 10 inches. All right. So I've got her, the mouse is still kept intact, kind of centered there, and I've got the 10-inch piece. All right. Then what I'm going to do, oh, sorry, this one that we took from the top, that is also extra. You can set it aside. Okay, so I've got my mini, it's 10 inches high. Now I'm going to make sure I get the full ears, which means it has to be 6 inches, right? So it just barely clears her ear right there. So this ends up being 6 wide by 10 high. Then with our remaining pieces, we do a 4-inch, which we're going to use this side, the pink side. And then these last two, I should have cut those first. It's going to make it harder to. These last two are 1 inch each. So I'm just cutting it down the middle. And those are our red hearts that we'll use in between when we're doing it. Okay, did everybody get that one? I know that's it's a little bit more complex, just trying to make sure that we don't want to cut into mini, right? We've got to keep her intact. So it'll end up like that when you're all finished. Okay. So after mini, this all goes with bonus layout D. After this, we only have 3 pages left to cut. We're getting there. You're doing great. We've almost got everything cut and it has been 55 minutes. So this is the hardest part. Hang in there. All right, so I'm gonna set mini with pile D and get it out of the way. The next one is another stripe, which it's a diagonal stripe this time. So you know I'm using that to accent and tie things together. So it's a few more cuts than our last couple. So it looks like this, and it has all the great speech bubbles on this side. Okay, same thing. I'm gonna start out with my product strip. Take that off the top. And then I am going to cut at the bottom. It really doesn't matter because which end you start from, because we're using the stripe side. So I'm gonna do 4 inches. So then we can turn and cut these as the 3x4s. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so you should have like this, 4 3x4s. 1 is extra, you do not need it. 1 is to back our cut file, so that goes with A. And then the other 2 are going to be for behind our photo mats to give it that pop of color. All right, so those are all of our 3x4s. So these all go to pile A. Okay, our next one, I'm gonna take more from the top. And I'm doing 4 inches again. Okay, so we need a 4x4 piece. And then we need 2 pieces that are 2.5 by 4. So we've got 2.5 and 2.5. All right, so then you have, again, an extra that you can set aside. So we've got a 4x4, a 2.5x4, and a 2.5x4. Your 4x4 is going to go with layout D, and then your other 2 smaller ones that are kind of that odd shape, those are going to, or odd size, sorry, those are going to go with our pocket page, and I'll show you, those are the actual pockets. So on here, when we have the pocket, it's this 2.5 piece, right, that goes right there. Same thing for the back side, this 2.5 inch piece that will make our pockets, okay? All right, so P and then D on this one. Oh, Amy, you worked ahead, gold star. Amy, I shipped your die cuts and pieces yesterday, so hopefully you'll get them. I think you'd get them maybe by Monday, because I think, are you in Utah? I think you're pretty close. I feel like Utah happens pretty quick, the shipping at least. Okay, so our last one is going to be for our make and take, okay? And we need these to be 8 inches. So I'm gonna go 8 inch right here. This is extra, don't need it, okay? And then I need a 2 inch piece and a 1 inch piece. So I'm gonna cut the 1 inch first. And then I've got my 2. Okay, so 8 inches, and then 2 inch and 1 inch. And these are both for the make and take. This one's an extra. Okay, so I'm gonna put these with pile M. And then we need to find this great blue dot and yellow stripe. This one ends up being a lot of really just simple cuts because I used it with the pocket page because it goes so well together, and sometimes the pocket pages get really bulky, so it's nice to only use the one paper sometimes. I do have extras tucked in here, but it's nice to have a paper that you can use both sides of. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to cut the yellow side because that's what I drew it on. So I took the product strip off. And then I'm just going to start, I need 4x4s that will go in the pocket page. Okay, so I did a 4 inch strip here, and then I need a 4x4, and I'm doing that 3 times on the first row. Okay, so I've got 3 of those. Then I'm gonna do it again. 4 inch strip, and then 4x4. 1, 2, 3. So you should have 6 altogether that are the 4x4, and we'll use them both ways. Okay, and then these last ones are actually going to be to help you with the cut file. So you're going to have a dot and a stripe. And so it's just going to be 2 3x4 inch squares, or rectangles, sorry, so that we have those. Okay, so this is extra, don't need it. The 3x4s, you want to put these with pile A. All the 4x4s go with pile P for pocket page. Okay, so we've got P, and then this one we've got A. Last paper, we made it. Okay. This paper is for the bonus layout, that Minnie Mouse one. Again, this is that one that I said if you're access only, it's not in the collection pack, just find, you know, any coordinating. A light blue would work, any would, because this is, sorry, that's not the bonus layout, it's layout C. But really, you could tie in any, because we use black in the middle and we have the stripe, you could do a yellow, you could do a green, a white. There's a lot of different options that you could use if you don't have the teal grid. But I figure we all have paper in our stash, right? That we can find something. Okay, so I'm gonna take the product strip off. Oh yeah, good call. I love it that fall papers now have teal and the kind of like that country blue, that cornflower. Oh, I love it. I am all about color. I am obsessed with color. So this is the perfect collection for me. I like working with Doodlebug and Bella Boulevard because their stuff is so colorful, and I tend to gravitate towards color. Okay, so this one is very tiny up in the corner up here, what you will need. And our first one, we need 6 inches. So I'm gonna get it right here at 6. Okay, and then we need a 10 by 6, and then what's left will be the 2 by 6. Okay, so here, I'm gonna do it this way. I don't think it matters, but so you should have 2 and 10, and that'll be for either side of your layout. And this is layout C. Okay, there are those 2 pieces. Then for my next one, I'm gonna do this one at 3 inches. Okay, so you should have basically 2 3-inch strips that are the same. All right, the first one I need to be 9 by 3 inches. Okay, right there, extra. And then the other one I need to be 6 by 3 inches. Extra. These are both for the make and take for our clusters. So we're gonna put those with M. And then our paper right here going across is for layout C. That's the one with the castle that we cut. Okay, that is it for paper cutting. I know I'm a very fast cutter, plus I've done this multiple times now. Like, you know, once you're putting the same project together over and over again, it tends to go quickly, on my end at least. So do not panic if you don't have everything cut. You have the cutting guide. You can always rewatch this, and I have full color instructions. If you've ever put together one of my layout kits before, you know that it goes together very quickly once everything is cut for you. We have everything cut right now. What we are going to do is I want you to grab a sip of coffee, you know, if you need to stretch, whatever, and then we are going to start on our cut file. Okay, so you'll need that package that had the die cuts in it, and that's what we will be doing next. Our cut file is for layout A, so you'll have to find those pieces for A, and that's what we will start with. Let me shift a few things around. Put this with layout C. Okay. The cutting guides are a labor of love to make, but I'm very visual, so I feel like this helps me more than anything. It's worth the hours that go into it, and I feel like once you have the cutting guide, you could then take another collection from Simple Stories, and you could do this same thing. That maybe it's a fall or a Christmas collection, and then you know, a lot of times they won't have a castle, but they'll have Santa, or you know, you have this kind of guide to be able to use this again, almost like a page sketch. Okay, so this is what we will be working on right here. I'm just gonna get my tools ready just so you can see, and then I'm gonna grab some coffee. Okay, for our cut file, we are going to be tracing with a pencil. You need your fussy cut scissors to cut around it, and then you need a liquid glue. All right, and then the actual, when I was finished, when the file was done, then I actually backed it all with foam adhesive. It's popped up from there. I don't know if you can kind of see. But this is your basics for a cut file, would be your fussy cut scissors, your pencil, good eraser too, and your art glitter glue or Nuvo or Gina K, whichever one that you like the best. Okay. Grab a drink of my coffee real quick. All right. And I gotta find my die cut package here. Okay, so if you got the box, you should have a little package that looks like this. If you ordered it from me for access only, same thing. Yours won't have the dots. The dots are just a bonus to decorate with at the end. I didn't even put the dots on my original layouts just because we didn't know if we were going to get them or not. It was a last minute, oh, we got some, and put it in the, got it in there. Okay, I'll move my tools out of the way here for a second. And I'm going to move my trimmer and get this opened up. Okay, so normally if I was teaching live with you here with me, I would say, has anyone never backed a cut file? Okay, because cut files I feel like are, they're very trendy still in the scrapbook world, but they also make designing a really cute page, they just make it easy because you've done all the work and you can combine a lot of different patterns, and that's sort of what your eye is drawn to, and then you can add the photos, right? But it's sort of taken the design work out of it. So for this one, for my package here, these letters, the Disney, will be used for our pocket page. So I'm just gonna set these with my pile for P. The piece of paper is only in there to help keep it all together. When I was cutting, I think we cut over 100 of these. We just needed a way to, as Cricut mats were coming off, just to keep it safe and together. So if you have a die cut machine, you can kind of cheat with the cut files, because I then will just have it cut out my papers for me. I gave you the inner and the outer. Okay, so there are two different ways to do this. And then there's our word day. Yes, I agree. Yeah. Oh, potty break. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I'll just keep talking for now while people are kind of settling in. So there are two ways to do this. I gave you these letters because I like to be able to trace the inner part that was popped out of there. A lot of times if you buy a cut file, you know, like Bella Boulevard has ones that are pre-cut, or, you know, you take a class or something, you get one pre-cut. A lot of times you only get this, okay? So if you're only getting this, you have two options. You can trace the outer part all the way around and then cut, or you can trace the inner part. Either way, you have to remember, okay, if I cut the inner part, then I need to give myself a little bit of a gap all the way around. I like it when I have the letters, because then I have the exact shape that I'm going to need. I trace it, and then I know that when I'm cutting, I just cut a little bit, leave a little bit of a border around the outside edge, because you need a little bit that's going to be able to glue to that outline. Now again, if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, I just make it cut these letters for me and don't even have to do the tracing and all that. But this is to do a traditional cut file. We're gonna need our A stack, okay, and we're gonna need our polka dot, stripe, diagonal stripe, and the pink. Okay, so these are our 4 papers. If you want to go rogue from anything in your scraps, and by all means, please do it. I love to see what people come up with. The other thing I would suggest, and I was going back and forth on this, the A or the R would be a great place to put a photo, because I feel like these are large enough that you could easily trace one of your photographs and put it in place of the pattern paper. But for today, I'm going to do them all as pattern paper, all right? Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You know, I'm a Cricut person. I do have Silhouette Design Studio, but I am a 100% Cricut person. I have, I don't know, 3 machines up and going most of the time. But Cricut, you can't share things, so then I was playing around with Silhouette. I'll get better at it to be able to share things. But yeah, I designed this one myself just because I wanted a different word than magic, or I feel like it's the same words over and over again, so I wanted something different. All right, so for this first one, what I'm going to do, I have my letter P, and I'm going to trace this with my pencil. Now, when I cut this out, I want to give myself a little bit of a glue edge, right? So I'm gonna cut about 1/8 of an inch border. Okay, so you can see where my pencil lines are. And then I'm just kind of going around because I want to be able to put dots of glue on that outline and be able to attach it. Okay, so here's my letter P. Any of those pencil marks I can erase, or I could have done it on the back side, but for today, for simplicity's sake, I'm doing it like this. Then when I attach it, it ends up like that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, because I know me, I won't get it perfect, so I'm just gonna erase these little marks. All right, so this first one, I traced the inner part of the letter. You're not always going to get the inner part of the letter, so I want to show you the other way also. Okay, so I have my letter P ready to go. Okay, so for our A, for this one, I am going to trace the inner part using the outline. And then same thing, I'm gonna use my fussy cutting scissors here and I'm gonna give myself a little bit of a border so that when I glue, it will attach this to that black outline. Okay, so here's my letter A. So it ends up looking like this. Now, if I cut it too big and I have something hanging over, then all I do when I just go in and snip it off, right? But that one looks like it fits. And then I'm gonna go ahead and erase my pencil lines. Okay. So now we have our P and our A. All right, now I'm gonna do the R. And for the R, I have my stripes. This time, I'm gonna show you a different way. This way you can choose which is best for you. I'm gonna trace the outer part, the outer part of the R. You can also use washi to help hold it down. Okay, so I'm tracing this outer part of the R. And then when I lift it up, I have a few places where I just need to fill in my pencil marks because there were gaps in the letter. Okay, because I traced around the outside edge, not the inside edge, this one I want to cut right at the lines or slightly to the inside. Okay, what I've shown you are 3 different ways to do it. The first one, we traced the inner letter and we cut a little bit extra, right? The second one, we traced the inner cut file and same thing, we cut a little extra. The third one, I'm showing you that I traced around the outside and I'm gonna trim in just slightly. I'm just showing you each way if you've never done this before, so that way you figure out which option feels best for you. And maybe it's a combination of them. All right, so for my R, I'm just cutting slightly inside the pencil line because you don't want it to overhang on the outline of the cut file. Get that out of there. So last weekend, we had an event here in Denver. I'm in Colorado, and it was a snowstorm, and it was an event with Paige Evans, and we had a cut file that was a haunted house, and it was the most intricate. I felt like I was blind after I did it. Oh my goodness, so many tiny pieces. So this is a nice one to start with because these are big chunky letters, and you kind of get the idea here with cutting, and then you can move on to bigger and better cut files. Let me just get that pencil line. Okay, so then for this one, that's where I traced the outer part, and it's going to end up laying right on there. Okay, all right, one more letter. How's everyone doing? You getting it cut? Okay, so for this one, this is my letter K. This is one other technique. This is if you're brave. I'm not going to trace it. I'm just going to cut around it. Again, this you can do if it's an easy cut and because I have the inner pieces. Cut straight across there. This, when I buy the Bella Boulevard cutouts, a lot of times this is what I'll do, is use their paper tracer and just lay it on my paper and then cut both at the same time. So then it cuts around it like that. Okay, I hope I didn't confuse you by showing you so many options, but I just wanted you to know different ways to do it so that you're not intimidated by the files. It's okay, good. Caitlin's got hers, good. They're very simple. I mean, it's cut and trace, or trace and cut, sorry. You don't want to cut first. Okay, once we have all of our letters here ready to go, what we're going to do is add liquid glue to the back of our cut file here, and then assemble it. This is art glitter glue. I like this one. I like Barely Arts. I like Nuvo. It just kind of depends. The black, I feel like I like having the black cut file. Most cut files you see are in white, but sometimes your liquid glue will show up more. If you do not have a stainless steel pin to put in the glue, I would highly recommend it. You can't use just a regular pin. You have to make sure it's the stainless steel. Otherwise it will rust and mess the glue up. But especially here in Colorado where it is so dry, the glue dries out so quickly. Okay, so I've got this. Just get it started a little bit. There we go. Okay. I'm actually going to start with the A. Do a few dots here. And like I said before, the A would be a really good place if you had a photograph that you could add it in. Okay, so here I just did the dots of my glue, and I will wipe all the extra off when I'm done, but I want you to see there's the back of it and there's the front, a little bit there. Okay, and then I'm going to continue doing that with my other letters. Okay, so I've got P put on there. All right, so I have the P and the A so far. Okay, then I'm just gonna keep going with the R. I used to teach years ago. I taught preschool and kindergarten for 5 years in Naperville, Illinois. Loved every minute. But we always would say a dot is a lot, right? So what's nice about this is having the fine tip on there doesn't let you, you know, have the blob of glue, because I've been known to be messy with glue. Okay, so then I have my R. And as you can see, mine's not perfect. It's overhanging right there. If it annoys me, once it dries a little, then I may snip it off. I may not. We'll see. Because I don't think you'll really notice. I don't think anyone would notice except me. Okay, and then add my letter K on here. It's even kind of pretty on the back, huh? It's so colorful. All right, didn't get most of my glue there. Okay, so I have my word park with the adhesive on it. I'm gonna have to add a little dot there because I missed it. And then all I'm gonna do for the back, I'm just gonna blot it with a paper towel just to wipe that off. I'm a messy scrapbooker, as in my desk is a mess, but I am not like a paint and ink, and I don't like all that kind of messy. Okay, so this will dry really fast, especially with our dry winter here. Okay, and then I didn't really have anything leak through, but I am gonna add one more dot under this because that's gonna end up popping up. All right, so that is our park cut file, and I am going to go ahead and put this pin back in here because otherwise I'll forget, and there we go. Oh, nope, didn't get it in there. Okay, so I've got that. All right, so when this is dry and finished, this is ready to go on our page. I'm gonna go ahead while everybody's working on this still, I'm gonna flip it over and I am going to add my foam squares. I love foam squares. Not everyone loves a ton of dimension, but I feel like these give it just enough to pop it up. And I don't like it when you have like a sinkhole in the middle of your layout, so try to cover most of the edges here. Okay, so I've just got some of my foam squares, and that way when we're ready to assemble this, it's ready to go. I'll just peel those off and have it. And then I've got our word day here. Okay, how's everybody doing on your cut file? Let me know, because we are ready to assemble our page. We are ready to do this page and get it done. I'm just gonna gather my pieces here. I think you'll be able to see both. And you can see already, just adding the cut file, like just the title, and we already had the Mickey here, we've already filled the page, right? We've got our main pieces here, and then you should have, from what we cut, your pile A. The only other two things were our mats for our mats, because I did 3x4 photo mats, and then I did a mat behind each photo mat to really make it stand out and to tie the colors together. Okay, so that's what we're gonna start with. And then, okay, that's fine. All right, everybody take a couple minutes. So I will start now, now that we're done with the cutting, and just introduce myself if you have not taken a class with me before. My name is Lindsay Wall. My business is called Lindsay's Layouts. I'm known for 2-page layout kits and card kits. I also teach. I love to teach. I would much prefer to be in person, but virtual has been amazing because I've been able to connect with people all over the United States and even other countries. Like we have Tatiana today from Brazil. So I feel like COVID really made us all as creators kind of stretch our thinking and be able to connect with more people. So I live in Fort Collins, Colorado, with my husband, Adam. And I have 3 girls. Lauren is 17, Maddie is 14, and Noelle is 10. So I have 2 high schoolers, and Noelle is 5th grade, about to go into 6th, because we've been doing middle school open houses this week. We have been here for 9 years. It'll be 10 years in January, which is just very hard to believe. We came here for my husband's job, and before that, I was born and raised in Illinois. I was born in a small town right outside of Springfield, Illinois. My parents still live there. And then my husband and I met at University of Illinois in Champaign in college. And then we've lived in Pennsylvania. Then we lived back in Illinois for about 10 plus years. And then now we've been in Colorado for 10 years, almost. So it's been fun. It's been a journey. I don't like moving, but for now it seems like we've been settled here for a little while, which is good. We also have 3 guinea pigs, which we call the Spice Girls. They are cinnamon, ginger, and pumpkin, and they are the most spoiled guinea pigs you will ever see in your life. We joke that they live in the penthouse because they have multiple levels to their cage and ramps, and they have a couch and hammocks, and yeah, they are so spoiled. But you'll see them a lot on my layouts and my Instagram posts because we just have a lot of fun with them. My husband and my daughter Maddie are both very allergic to all sorts of pets. My husband was actually told, the only pet you'll ever have is a fish. But luckily with the guinea pigs, it's been okay. So we haven't been able to have dogs or cats or anything like that, but the guinea pigs have been all right. So Chris is in Peoria. Okay. There's a good mall in Peoria. I know exactly. My parents have to fly in and out of Peoria quite a bit because Springfield just doesn't have many options for flights. So I know Peoria quite well. Okay. Yeah, and I went to Sheila's Color this fall, which was in Wisconsin. And first of all, flying in, the color, oh my goodness. Here in Colorado for fall, we usually get the yellows. We don't get the Midwest color. Like you need the reds and the oranges, and flying in was just unbelievable. It was an amazing weekend weather-wise. Plus, I got to have all of my favorite foods, which was Lou Malnati's pizza and Portillo's. So good. I had both of those while we were there, and then got to do classes and hug a lot of people. Got to hug Tracy. She was there teaching also. I was just there as an attendee, as kind of a treat for me, and it was so much fun. Okay, so I'm gonna pull our embellishments so that we have those ready to go. The adventure starts here, click, today. These are all stickers. And then these other pieces up here are going to be from your, what is this called? Journal bits, ephemera, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just look through this. Oh my goodness, it was your first time at Disney. Oh, so we are huge Disney fans. And this year, what we did for the first time, my husband and I went to D23, which if you've never heard of it, D23 is sort of like the Disney fan club that we're a part of. And ironically, it was our 23rd wedding anniversary. So this had been on our bucket list for years and years and years, never been able to make it possible. And we're like, you know what? Now's the time. Let's do it. So my parents came and stayed with the girls for a few days, and we flew to Anaheim. Did not go to the parks at all because everything is held at the Anaheim Convention Center and then also at the Honda Center at night. And we had a blast. It was a lot of standing, waiting in line. I really wasn't that, I don't know. We shopped, but I wasn't that overly impressed with all of the shopping and the booths and stuff. But in the evenings, getting to be right there for the announcements and the different celebrities, and it was just incredible. Okay, so it did. Yes, I know. They just wrapped it up in Brazil. Yes, which was, I think, the first time it's ever been there, I think. So I've been getting all the updates on that too, right? Isn't that crazy how it all connects? Okay, so from the journal bits, I pulled 4 pieces. I pulled this large Castle die cut. I pulled this rainbow block, and then I pulled 2 of the hearts, okay? And then I put everything back in there for now. And then I have my park and day, 2 separate things. And then I have my photo mats, and I need my sticker sheet. You do have white cardstock. I wouldn't even call it cardstock. You have white paper in your kit, just because I wanted to give you something. It is very, very flimsy, cheap. I mean, it's from Michael's, but it's just not, well, it's not like American Crafts or anything. But I wanted, if you need mats or placeholders for your photos, I wanted you to have something to be able to cut. So you do have that there. And then sticker sheet, here we go. Okay, and then the sticker sheet. All right, so to put this together, it'll go together really quickly. I did ink the edges of my accent mats right here. I'm using Coal Miner. Quick Quotes ink is my favorite. I literally, I use them to death, and I'm doing a lot of inking and page kits each day, but basically what happens is I use them so much that the foam ends up falling apart. But I've had them for years and years, and I have not had issues with the dry air here. So that tends to be, if you see me inking, that's what I'm using. Okay, so when I put together this layout, I felt that it was very heavy in the bottom down here, which I loved, but we needed something to balance it out. And I wanted you to be able to add a date or a sentence or some sort of journaling. So that's where this came in at the top to kind of balance it out. And if you did the full thing, it would have been too much, okay? So that's where I decided to cut it in half so that you could see I cut it right at the top of the castle. And then same thing on this one, I cut this also. So you've got just this hint of date journaling at the top, and then you've got the bulk of your layout down here. All right, and I am going to do the photo mats. Both of these photos are 3x4. We talked about this earlier. When you go to Disney, you take so many photos. My biggest tip is use the Project Life app. It is free to download, or it might be 99 cents now, I'm not sure, but I do a ton of photo collages. So basically, you make a collage with 2 photos like this, but you print it as one 4x6 at Walgreens or Shutterfly or wherever you do whatever's left to be able to print photos. But I highly recommend the Project Life app. And then I will do a lot of 6x8 collages with all 2x2s, because you can get all the 2-inch photos, and you can cram a lot in there that way by using the 2-inch ones. Okay, and then I need to do, just gonna trim off right at the top of the castle. Oh, you're in Wisconsin too, Jamie. I didn't realize that. Oh, it was so fun. I would love to be able to go next year. I paid the registration. I don't know if it's going to work for Sheila's Color, but it's next year is their 10-year. It is sold out. You can get on the waiting list, but it's just it's such a great community. Like I feel like it's going back to a reunion that you don't dread. Like you see all these wonderful women and teachers, and everyone loves paper just like you, and don't think, you know, they don't think you're crazy. And we just had a great time. And I got to meet so many people in person and hug them in person that I had only connected with online. One was my friend Lori. We've been connecting for years online, and then we finally got to sit together at Sheila's Color and get to really know each other in person. So if you ever have the chance to go, I highly recommend. Okay, so I have all of my pieces inked. What I'm going to do now is just start adhering things. All right, I know this goes at the top. So I'm gonna line this up right here, and then I'm gonna add the other journaling right there. Okay, and then for my 2 hearts, I did pop those up. I love to pop up everything. So those, let's see, I've got my smaller squares here. Okay, so I've got my 2 hearts popped up, and I've got my journal tags up at the top. All right, now I'm going to kind of work from the bottom up to get my park day on there. I want to make sure the word day fits. And I'll actually use my, oh, thanks, Lori. It was so great. Oh, Canva. That's a good idea too. Yeah, I love Canva. All right, so I'm going to add a little bit of liquid glue to my word day. Not too much. Okay, I did a big dot. A big dot is a lot up here. Kind of smush it out. And I'm going to put this down here at the bottom. Okay, and then that kind of gives me an idea of where park is going to sit. So I already have all of my foam squares on this. I'm going to go ahead and peel it away. Takes a while, right? So for Disney, we are very fortunate because when my daughter, my middle daughter, who's 14 now, when she was a baby, we got to stay in a vacation club room at Bay Lake Tower. And it was brand new at the time, and you know, once we stayed there, it was like there was no turning back. And my husband had researched it, and he had wanted to do the vacation club for a while, but it just, I didn't think we needed to do it. But once we stayed in the room, you know, with a baby and a 4-year-old, and the room had a kitchen, and we had a view of the fireworks, and it was just, we were sold. So we joined the vacation club way back when, and I'm so thankful that we did, because now I think it's crazy expensive. So we have been able to go to Alani. We've been able to go to Disneyland and Disney World. So it's been, I feel like for us, it's made us go to the parks more, just because our room is typically covered by our fees and stuff for the year. And then we're able to go and really have fun, right? With Mickey and all the food and all of it. So I'm starting with the sticker sheet. The Adventure Starts Here is up at the top. That's my first sticker. It's gonna go right here. Okay. Now, all I have left to add are my mats and photo mats. Oh, Jamie, what is your home? Oh, sorry, the photo sizes are 3x4. Okay, so it's literally a 4x6 photo cut in half. So 3x4 on those. Okay, Jamie, what's your home resort? Our home resort is Bay Lake Tower. And then we've considered doing a resort in Disneyland, just because that's so much of an easier flight for us now. When we first joined, I think I like this color better. When we first joined 13, 14 years ago, we lived in Illinois. So going from Chicago to Orlando was much easier for us. Plus, Adam's aunt and grandma lived in Daytona. So we would go every year, we'd go visit them, they'd get to see our kids and how much they had grown, and then we would get a little Disney trip out of it. Well, then we moved 9 years ago here, and that was our first time that we really even tried Disneyland, and we realized it was so much easier with kids to be able to go to Disneyland and do it in a day or two versus how spread out that Disney World is. So now we're like, oh wow, we should have bought in there. Plus the flight is so much quicker. Like we can get the kids from school, fly in the evening and gain an hour in California and then be able to do the parks. Okay, so yes, I've done the same thing. It's been really great. Last year we took one of Lauren's friends with us to Disney, and she loved it. Yeah, and then she kept saying, what can I do? What can I pay for? I'm like, just buy your ticket. The room is covered. So we've really taken advantage of it. It's been wonderful. We have not taken our kids on a cruise. So Adam and I have gone on 3 Disney cruises, like way back. We haven't gone on one since Noelle was born, and she's 10. So way back, we went on 3 different cruises and we never took our kids. Like we're those people. They hate us for it, but they'll forgive us at some point. But I really, really would like to do an Alaskan cruise, just to experience it. And yeah, but the cruises when we did do them were amazing. Okay, so I'm taking this word today and using it down here as a little tab on my photo. And then the only other sticker that you're going to use is this one that says click. And for that, I am going to put 2 foam squares on it. And I'm only going to peel off the furthest one out because I don't have my photo here yet. So don't peel this one. Put it right here. And then that way, once I have my picture, I can tuck it underneath there. Okay, so that is our first layout. Letter A, sorry, all done, ready to go. Oh, see, I would love to do the Alaskan cruise. I think that sounds so fun. We're in a different spot now because Lauren really, she's a junior, and now we're kind of rethinking our vacations. Like, oh, we only have 1 more year with her at home, and she also does competitive dance, so we're very busy in the spring, and this year she has nationals, so in the summer we will be very busy also. Oh, it sounds amazing. How long was your Alaskan cruise? Is it Alicia or Alicia? Okay. Yeah, I would love to do a DVC member cruise. We have a lot of these things on our retirement bucket list. It's just life is so busy right now with all the kids stuff. And I'm so grateful that I'm able to do all the kids stuff and still do what I love. I'm able to do this as a full-time business and be able to, be there for all the dance competitions and all the other things. So I will ask this. Okay, go by Allie. All right. What is the photo app to merge photos? That is Project Life. So look up the Project Life app, and they have it. There's different collages on there that are 12 by 12, that are 6 by 8, but there should be one that says small prints. And on the small prints, you can either make it 2 3 by 4s, 4 2 by 3s, 6 2 by 2s. It has all the options. Save it to your photo roll, and then you just print it as a 4 by 6. And then you've got the different sizes. I think there's even a collage that's a 4 by 4 and a 2 by 2. So then you can get 3 photos on it. Then you can still do, like when Walgreens has those amazing coupons that are like, so many free or so many whatever, you can send them all to Walgreens and do it. And the Project Life app itself was made to be able to make these big 12 by 12 pages. I rarely use it for that. You can use the 12 by 12 templates and then print them down as 4-inch also at Walgreens or wherever you get your photos. Or you just use the small prints and yeah, print them as 4 by 6. I also have a photo printer here. When I'm doing a big project like Disney, I send the photos out. If I'm doing a small project here at home, I have a printer where I print my photos, and that's just made it easier for me depending on what the need is. Oh, cool. Vancouver. Oh, that sounds amazing. Okay. All right. We are done with this page. I would like to move on to our pocket, the page with the pocket, not the pocket page, the page with the pocket, which is layout B. So for that one, you're going to need the yellow paper. If you're access only, any yellow gold paper that would coordinate will do. This one happens to be from Photoplay, from one of their Disney lines, and I just thought that it worked perfectly with the yellow and what we're going to be doing. Okay, so this is our next paper. I'm going to move this one aside for a second. Okay, and then it will be layout B. So all of those pieces that we cut for layout B. And then I will take the product strip off. Let me find my sample. Okay. So here is our sample. Now that I have the enamel dots, I would add either enamel dots or twine here and here because I think it would help with those. Maybe even on here to give you something to grab, or add the twine on there. I think it would be really cute. So we're gonna make the Magic Memories page. And the reason we're doing 2 single pages is because the pocket page is meant to go in between them. Okay, so I wanted you to have sort of a cohesive flip through, if that makes sense. I don't like it when, I'm usually a 2-pager, so I like it when things kind of balance out. So you'll have this here, which ties together the colors, okay? And then when you flip it, then you have this here with the yellow tying together, okay? So that's what this is meant for. You don't have to do it that way, but that's just to explain why these are the single pages with that in between. All right, so let's move this out of the way. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do, oh, we met and I said, oh my goodness, we met at She Loves Color. Oh, cool. Okay, I'm trying to picture now. Who were you sitting with? Were you with Sarah? Was Sarah Henke at your table? Or was it the other direction? I'm trying to think. Okay, I'm gonna write on this just so everyone knows. This is a 3x4 and this is a 4x4. Okay, so that we've got those for photo mats. All right. Let me get my product strip cut off. Oh, great, okay. Okay, and now I have to look back through my pictures, Allie, because I'm sure I have a photo of you. I just ordered my She Loves Color pictures this week. I did that one night. I don't typically have 2 events back to back, 2 weekends in a row. And last weekend was a doozy. So I had promised myself and my family that Monday would be a day of rest. And it was also Veterans Day, so my kids had the day off, but I mean, I really needed to rest, especially with the snowstorm. Ashley, who works for me, couldn't help me. My husband couldn't get there the first day. It was just very physical setting up a store. So Monday, during my rest day, which I'm not good at, I went through a lot of my photos and I ordered photos for the Paige Evans event and I ordered photos from She Loves Color. So I'm so excited to get them. And I actually have an album from Tracy that she did earlier this year, and it's with the Bella scrapbook line, and I had bought that album this summer, and that's the album I'm putting all of my She Loves Color photos in. So, oh yeah, Janet, yes. Okay, yeah, all right. Okay, so for this one, the main thing that you need to remember is that this is a pocket. And we don't want things to not be able to slip in, and we don't want them to slip all the way down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to adhere this one first. Then we're going to flip this over and I'm going to show you where to put your adhesive so that way you make the right size pocket. These are 4 inches. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, which is also the size of a photo. So you could put small photos on the back of here, or you could have more 4-inch photos that you end up tucking in here to be able to pull them out. You can also do like your tickets or your photo pass cards or any of that. Remember when we used to get the fast pass ones and the good old days? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and ink this. Okay, so I have an Etsy page and a website, and I do have some product on there, but I'm mostly known for my page kits, and I try to release about 12 kits per month of different themes. For this event, I did design, in the last 2 weeks, I designed 25 new page kits that are Disney just for this event. I have not released them to the public yet. And there is a link on the Facebook group if you would like to see those and shop. I will add them to my regular Etsy page in December for my release. But I wanted to give you first dibs on those. So I just inked the edges of both of these, and then what I'm going to do now is just adhere the blue so then we know exactly where our pocket needs to go. So in my kits, everything is pre-cut, ready to go, except for your photo mat paper. So very similar to how Tracy has everything just wonderfully prepped for you. That's how mine are too. And I do teach at events. Last weekend I was not teaching, I was just a pop-up shop, which was a ton of work. And that's why I have a lot more product loaded on my page right now, just whatever was left over from the event. Okay, so I have adhered the blue, I just kind of centered it. And what I'm going to do now is flip this over. Okay, it's going to be a little confusing because you see the blue too. All right, so what I want you to do here is take some of your tags and see how much you would like them to stick up. Do you want them to stick up this high? If so, you should put your adhesive here. If you want them to only stick up a little bit, then you should put your adhesive here. Does that make sense? Because we're making a pocket. So you only want to put adhesive here, here, and here. And I'm actually going to use my tape so that you can see this. All right. No, my kits, everything is pre-cut. So today we did this because this is a class and we were taking one collection and spreading it out over so many different kits or so many different layouts. But in my page kits, when I release those, no, everything is ready to go except for your photo mats. And that's because that's kind of your decision. Okay, so I am putting my tape here. Okay, and here's why. I want my tags to stick out a little bit. See how they're gonna stick out a little bit at the top? So, and then I'm going to also kind of seal it in here and here, okay? So that makes my pocket, and then my tags don't fall down in the page or my photos, and then I can also you see the pop of color, right? Or you see the photo, whatever is sticking out. And that should work because I feel like if you had a room card or a photo pass card, they're about this size, the 4-inch size. Okay, so again, don't adhere the top. This is a pocket. I am gonna add a little bit of adhesive over here and over here just so it doesn't pop up. Okay, and I'm gonna move these tags out of the way and stick this down. Okay, so now we have our pocket. And you can end up doing, oh, I need that for the bottom, sorry. Got a little too excited. That's gonna go in our bottom corner. And I believe it's the Minnie Mouse tag is the other one. Now, it can be whichever tag you like. I just felt that this tied together with the flags, I wanted to mimic it here and here, and I liked the pop of pink. If you don't want pink, then look on the back side and see which ones you like. And so then we've got our tags up here, ready to go, and we've got our pocket. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and ink. And get these ready. So we do have a Disney trip planned for Disney World for spring break. I'm very excited. And we are gonna stay in Bay Lake Tower, which is connected to the Contemporary where the monorail goes through. The girls are very excited, and we'll go, I think with flights and timing and everything, we'll only go for 4 days. But we used to be the people who were there at rope drop. We always opened the park, and you know, now that we are mountain time going to East Coast time, and I have teenagers, we are not the rope drop people. We are the stay till it's over people, stay till the end. So that's had to change, because I like being there early and getting through the rides, and not through them, but getting in line or getting the, I don't know, Genie Plus, which may be gone now. So yeah, we'll start planning that. And then our other big trip this summer is my daughter will be doing nationals for dance. Okay, and I don't want to offend anyone here. I was very excited about nationals because I thought we were going to go to, our options were Vegas, Texas, Nashville, and Florida. We are spending 8 days, yes, 8, in Branson, Missouri. So if any of you know of anything fun, must see, must do in Branson, Missouri, could you please tell me? I was excited because I was going to go to Scrapbook Generation, which is an amazing scrapbook store in Springfield, Missouri, and they are closing their brick and mortar store at the end of the year, so I won't be able to do that. But I have not been to Branson, Missouri since I was a very young kid, actually maybe 10 or 11. So all I really know is Silver Dollar City. So if you have any suggestions, I would love to hear them, because and we won't know her exact dance schedule until 2 weeks before. So we have to plan for the full 8 days and be there. Oh, Barb, that's awesome. You need to go, Jamie. Yeah. All right. Okay, so all I did was I cut my 2 photo mats, which are 4x4 and 3x4, and then I inked my tags. And I'm gonna go ahead and just adhere these, and then we will add our stickers. Okay, so we've got our 3x4 and then our 4x4. Okay. And then down here, I'm gonna layer these 2 tags, and then if you can see, I just kind of trimmed off the bottom. Okay, and then I didn't put adhesive on this side of the tag because I don't have my photo there yet. So I'm just gonna do it about to the middle. So I've got that one for journaling. And then I've got my other tag as my accent. Okay, and then once I have those down, I'm just gonna flip it over. And trim it off. Okay, now we just need the jewelry, right? The embellishments. These are all stickers, so if you get that sticker sheet again, And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember how I color coded it, but I know I color coded it on my actual instructions so that you knew where to look for things, because that's very hard when you've got all these different embellishment pieces to know where did she find this? Where did it come from? So I tried to make it a little easier. First one, I'm taking This Is My Happy Place and putting it right here above my photo. Okay, then we have some yellow confetti. I'm gonna pop that up. Put it over here. Okay, and then down here I have a blue star speech bubble and a pink confetti. Okay, and then the pink confetti is right here. And I don't know if this is on all of them, but mine has a boo-boo on it, and I'll show you my sticker sheet. Okay, so I added my confetti, but I don't know if yours is like this, but see right here, they didn't cut the sticker out. It's like, it should be there, there's black lines, but it's not cut out. So this is a little insider scrapbooking gossip that's happening right now, but there's been major issues with sticker sheets, and I think almost every company is using the same, almost every scrapbook company, Simple Stories, Photo Playout, they're all using the same sticker company, and the sticker company is not doing a good job. So it's delayed a lot of our products, and yeah, so sticker drama, right? Stickergate, that's what we can call it. Okay. So then the only other thing that I added were these other 3 speech bubbles, and I popped each of those up. So I've got the camera. Okay, and then I've got the music note. And then one more, which is the heart. And this is just a design rule whenever you're adding your embellishment. Odd numbers look better, right? Your group of 3 looks better, and your visual triangle always looks better. So this is a group of 3, and it makes my triangle. This is sort of a spread out group of 3, even though it's 2 stickers here, but this is my triangle here. And that when you're designing, that's just kind of one of the elements of graphic design that just, it's naturally pleasing to the eye. So whenever you're hesitating, should I add this sticker? Should I add this die cut or dot? Count. Because typically if it's an odd number, leave it alone. If it's an even number, then yes, add one more thing, right? We can always take away. Okay, so we have 2 pages done. And I'd like to start on our pocket page, which I think will go pretty quickly. Let's see, can everybody give me a status check? How are you doing? Are you just watching? Did you get the 2nd page done? Yes. Okay. I did, is this better? Let's see. It takes mine a second to catch up. So I did the 3 speech bubbles here, and then the 1 speech bubble here. So the only speech bubble sticker you have left on your page is the yellow. Okay. And then confetti. So there's a yellow confetti and a pink confetti from the sheet. All right, so you've got, and then I did, sorry, This Is My Happy Place. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 7 stickers total on this one. Yeah, I think sometimes half the battle is just finding the sticker on the sticker sheet. So these are at least all close together at the top, which is helpful, but yeah, I feel like sometimes it's like, where did you find that? I don't know. And it's helpful that these are colorful too, to be able to do it. Oh, thanks, Tracy. Okay, A and B done. That's all right, Barb. That's great. Okay. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Cool. Okay. So we are going to do the pocket page next. So you need to find that divided page protector. And I do know that for the pocket page, we do a lot of stickers on the outside of the protector. Okay. Let me find mine. It's just double checking. It's always unnerving when you look down at your watch and see that you have 19 messages. And I put my phone and everything on Do Not Disturb because I was teaching, but I was just making sure it's not my daughter because they have a guest choreographer all weekend. So she got to sleep in, but then she has to be at dance. She was at dance last night, dance today, and then dance tomorrow. So it's just, none of them are her. I don't know what it is, but it's nothing. But I just looked and like, 19, whoa, what's going on? Okay, so you should have this 4x4 pocket page, and we are going to use our pile that we labeled P. P for pocket. So it should just be a bunch of squares and then our tags, and then we're gonna make a few little pockets also. You know, I don't think it would really matter. Let's see. Let's put the other page next to it and see what we think. That's a good question. So if you don't add pocket pages to your albums, which some people don't, you just glue this onto a piece of cardstock. Okay. So for this one, I mean, I really think it's personal preference. I think the black would look great as it, because you're only going to see it in a few small spots if you see it at all. It's just if your photos are different sizes. And I feel like with all the black on the cut file, I think black would be great. Let's flip it over and look on the other side. Yeah, I think black would be great for both because yeah, I think I would do the black sheet and then do it like that. Yep. I agree, Tatiana. Yep. Okay. Yes. And thank you for asking that. I should have mentioned that. I know too, some people do like the Creative Memories, the album where you just attach it to the page, or or you want to just do the slip-in page. So yes, just get a 12-inch piece of cardstock and stick it down and it does the same thing. All right, so let's move these out of the way. And then I want to be able to tell you the photo sizes, so that you can get those cut if you need it. Let me just grab a mini Post-it. Hold on. Okay, I am the queen of Post-it notes. So many Post-it notes. All right, so we have 4x4. And then down here, we have the 2x2s. And again, I would do these in the Project Life app because you can do 6 2x2s on a 4x6 photo. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and just label the back side really quick. in case you need to cut photo mats. All right, I tried to do all pretty universal sizes. 3x3. And then there are more 2x2s that are hidden inside the pockets on the tags. Okay, so that at least gets us started and you can see that. All right, Allie, please post when you're done because I would love to see what yours look like and be able to, so that other people who maybe can't watch today would see how yours is. Okay, all right, so we have our pocket page. We're just gonna go across left to right and fill these in, okay? And some of them are just gonna be very, very simple because it's literally just a sticker or it's just a piece of paper. Hold on, I moved my pile when I was showing things, so I gotta get it back here. Oh, here it is. Okay, here's my pile. And then I am gonna cut photo mats just so you can see what I'm doing as I fill it in, because it's really hard to see a protector. It's hard to photograph a protector. All right, so I need a couple of 4x4s and then a couple of 3x3s. Okay, this will be enough to get us started so that way you can see what I'm doing as I slip it into the protector. Okay, so our first pocket, we're going to need that card that just says wish, dream, believe. And you're either gonna glue it to your cardstock if you're doing that, or you're going to just slip it into the pocket. Okay, let me get my piles straightened out here. Let's move this right here so you can see it. Okay, so I need wish, dream, believe. Here it is. Okay, and for this one, I am gonna ink it really quick because that's just what I do. Okay, and then it just gets slipped in right there. Okay, so that's number one. Next to it is gonna be our 4x4 photo mat. Okay, and then what I did for this one is I did 2 of the flags from the sticker sheet. So a green flag and a yellow flag. And then I did them on the outside of the protector so that way my photo can still slip in, and I just trimmed the bottom off a little bit. So I'm gonna take the green here again and put it on the outside. Okay, and then the yellow here. And then I'm just gonna trim off those extra little poles right there, the flag poles. Okay, so there's that pocket is now done. Okay, my next one is going to be that yellow striped paper. Give it a little ink. And then a 3x3 photo mat. Okay, and then I'm gonna slip it in. And again, my sticker is gonna go on top. So the sticker for this one is the shorts, the Mickey shorts, and it's gonna go right here on top of my protector. All right, so that's row 1. Okay, for row 2, we need the pink. I think it's the ice cream cart. Yeah, Yeah, so I think it's the ice cream cart and it's the back of it. We need the pink. And if you have a card that you like better than one I chose, by all means, they're all adorable. It was really hard to decide what to cover up. Okay, so I have my 3x3 photo mat, and then I'm just gonna slip this in. And then same thing, sticker. Where is it? The bow right here. Minnie Mouse bow is gonna go right on the top. Okay. All right, my next one is the large dot. This is actually all on the inside of this one, okay? So we wanna make this before we slip it in. I'm gonna ink the edges. Okay, and then we're gonna do the half Mickey sticker. And these other two pieces come from that journal pack, the journal pieces that we had. I think we used it on the first layout, layout A. Okay, so mine ironically are on top, but you need this date circle and then the red heart. So I'm gonna get those. These are from the journal ephemera. That made it easy. And I did pop these up. It's kind of your preference. Sometimes popping things up when you know you're gonna be stuffing the pocket with other things isn't the best idea. So I think this time around I'm gonna keep it flat. Add the date and the heart. Okay, so then you have your card finished. And slip that one in. And the one next to it is super simple, and it's going to be Let the Magic Begin. Okay, 3 rows done. All right, for the 3rd row, I have a photo mat, 1 sticker on top. I did this one, it's right underneath the buttons here, Let the Magic Begin. And I did that on the outside of the protector. And then next to it is this button, which I absolutely love, Here for the Magic. I'm gonna insert that one. And it's just cute as is. Doesn't need anything added to it. Okay, our last corner. That's what this is for. Remember this, that you can add your photos and journaling to. There's also a 2x2 photo there. Move it down so you can see a little bit. And the sorcerer's hat is on the inside of this one. Okay, so you need the blue dot, the stripe to make our pocket. Then we're gonna have the tags slide in there. Okay, and then we'll add the photo mat and the sticker. So just like before, we just don't want to seal it shut because it is a pocket for our tags. All right, so I'm going to use my tape again just so you can see. I did Did my tape across the bottom. And then the two sides. Okay, so then I have where my pocket will slip in and out of there. All right, so I'm going to peel that up. And stick it right on the square. Okay, and then my tags will fit right inside there, and it's okay if they stick out of the pocket a little bit. Mine stick out here. And then I'm gonna add a 2x2 as a placeholder. And then it's kind of nice, they lined up all the clothing right here for us. So the sorcerer's hat is right there. Okay, so then we have our pocket, and we can slip this in. All right, so that is our full pocket page, side one. All right, and then we're gonna flip it over and add our Disney letters for side two. Okay, this is our master page. When I flip this over, it's gonna look funny, but hopefully it'll look like yours also. Okay, so for some of these, what we're going to do is just pull them back out and just put it on the back side. So my first one up here, the dots, I'm going to find my letters. Give it a little bit of ink. Okay, so the letters I did, that's the one side, this is the other side. The letters I did pop up with foam adhesive. Okay, and then we're going to add this flag that says "So Fun," and that is also from the journal pack. It's one of these flags right here. Okay, actually they were there together, so I'm gonna keep this one out too because we're gonna use the best when we get down here to the letter S. So Fun, I put it right here, and I did use one small foam square on this side to be able to pop it up. Okay, so here's my letter D. So Fun, let's move it down just a little bit. Okay, So Fun, and then we're gonna slip it in just like that. Okay, next, oh, you couldn't find the pocket page. Okay, Sylvia, are you access only, or was it not in your kit? But you could also do glue it onto the piece of black cardstock. Keep that as an option. Okay, our next one is a yellow square from my pile here. Inking the edges. And then I'm gonna add my letter I, and then also one of those circles that we punched earlier. Okay, so I've got my letter I, and then I've got my M for Mouse and Co. So I'm gonna put foam squares. One more. So then I've got my letter I, and that gets slipped in right here. Okay, for the one next to it, we're just using the back side of what we already had, and then the sticker is going to go on the outside. Okay, yeah, so Sylvia, if you don't have the pocket page, you could definitely just glue it down to the piece of cardstock. This pocket page is Echo Park. I'm not sure, Doodlebug might also make a 4x4. They're getting harder to find. I feel like they were very trendy for a while and then they kind of went away. Okay, so this is my 3x3 photo. I'm going to do a little bit of ink. And then we are going to add the one sticker, which is this cute assortment of food right here. All the things, the cotton candy, the popcorn, the churro. And I'm adding this to the outside of the protector. Okay. Same thing on this next pink one right here, that we need the 3x3 photo. And then we're gonna put the Magic Memories sticker on the outside. Okay, so we've got that. I need to cut one more. I've only got 2x2s left. How many? Yeah, I just need one more 3x3. Okay, so I'm going to pull this one back out, put it on there just like that, give it a little bit of ink, and then slide it back in. Okay, so then I have my Magic Memories. All right, our next one is another blue square, and we are going to add the letter S and then that tag that I was lucky enough to find when I was searching for the other one. So we've got it right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put a dot on there, or a square, sorry. And then add my foam squares. Which way the S, I guess it's the same both directions. Okay, so there's the S, and then I'm going to add the little flag that says the best. Okay, and then ink it so it matches. And then I'm going to slip that one right in there. We're getting there, we're halfway. DIS. Okay, so we've got DIS. I've got my other yellow card right here. So we're going to do our NEY. Okay, so the N also has this ice cream cart, and the ice cream cart is on the inside, so it's attached to the letter N. You can see it right there. Sorry, my desk is getting messy. So what I'm going to do is sticking it to the end, but not sticking it down. And then I'm gonna flip it over like this so that I can add my foam squares and get that ice cream cart supported along with the end. Good point, Jamie. On a couple of them that we use both sides, yes. Yeah, that's a good point because on the pink we use the back side. If you own any of the Simple Stories Color Vibe, you could any of their different shades that match this collection, you could use that. Or any, like, you know, how we found the mint, you might have enough. You might be able to cut this one too as your 4x4s on the back. Right? There might be enough scraps that you'd be able to find one. We'll see. Okay, so I did D, I, S, N. Now we need E and Y. This one is thick because that's our pocket from the other side. So for this one, I did the E and the hat. Okay, so I'm gonna do the same thing where I kind of lay it on there, flip it over. And for this one, I'm gonna need a smaller square. That's a good idea, Allie. Well, and if you've been a Simple Stories collector at all, most of their say cheese all coordinates. You know, you can pull different lines from over the years. I don't even know how many collections there have been. There were 4 of the original say cheese, and then they came out with a couple more since then, because I know the one that we did, was it 2 years ago? It matches with this still. Okay, and I need a little square for that flower. Okay. Got our E. So what we're going to do, just because I want to be mindful of time and make sure that you have a lunch break and then Tracy can get started on time, let's do these last 2 squares here, and then I will just talk through the other 2 layouts. But I feel like if you follow the cutting guide, it should be very simple to put those 2 together. But I want to make sure that you have a lunch break and that we can get started on the album, because I know that the album, Tracy needs the full 3 hours. Okay, Y. All right, so for the Y, oops. For the Y here, we have our circle punched letter D, and then we have our letter. So what I'm gonna do is, oh my goodness, adhere this to the Y. And then I'm going to turn it over and pop it up. Okay. And then I'm wondering if I made one mistake in my cutting guide, because I don't have another blue square of paper. I need to check really quick. We have other paper, so not a big deal, but kind of wanted it to be the blue. All right, let me outline this one. So then I have the Y done. All right, so I'm guessing we all did the cutting guide together. I don't think I lost a piece of paper between point A and B. So this is the piece for the pocket, and these are the tags that go in the pocket, but I don't have my square of paper here that I feel like I should have. So if you have your pile of papers that I said we didn't need, there should actually be this piece of paper left that was a 4x6, and I think I missed it on the cutting guide, so I apologize. I will get it changed. But what you need to do is make one more 4x4 out of this piece of paper. Okay, so this is for this final card, same thing that we did on the front side where we make the pocket. And then the castle is a sticker that is on the inside. So let me use my tape again so you can see. Okay, so I'm just making sure that I'm adding adhesive on the sides and the bottom so that we can tuck the tags in. Okay, so then I have my pocket, and I can put these two tags right inside there, and then I will slide them in right here. Okay, so we have, whoops, get in there a little bit further. There we go. Okay, and then I didn't do my sticker. I got so excited to put it in there and didn't add my sticker. Okay, so then we would have our castle sticker and our 2x2 photo. Okay, so for that one, hopefully everybody got that. I missed that square on the cutting guide. So it should be in your stack of, we don't use this paper, and you just cut it down to a 4x4 to go in the pocket, okay, which would go right here. All right, so we finished A, B, and pocket page both sides, okay? So we did not get to layout C. So I'm gonna show you really quickly how that goes together. And then D is the bonus layout, which also goes together very fast, because if you've done the cutting, then you should be ready to go, all right? And then if you have any questions, you can always message me, but I don't think you should have a problem. All right, so let me move these aside. Okay, so these are the instructions that I have printed. Okay, so this is layout C that is in the files on the Facebook page. For this, I used 2 sheets of background paper that you should have in your kit if you receive the box. And ironically, it's Christmas paper, but it worked really well, right? You never know what's going to be a good background. So this is the dot that I used for that. Okay, so we have our page looks like this. Okay, for this layout, you need the page pieces set. So that is in a package like this. Okay, so you need this set that is all of your embellishments. You can see they're all right here, so that makes it very simple. And then you need one card, which is this one that says Magic Moments, okay? And that is from the journal pack, so that's right here. So you're gonna need page pieces, journal card, all right? Then everything else we should have pre-cut, ready to go. So I'm just gonna lay it here and you're gonna pretend like I'm adhering it. Castle, left and right. Okay, then we have our grid on one side and our grid on the other side. And then we're going to fill in the stripe above and below. And then these little baby pieces, same thing, above and below. Okay, and then what's left are these 2 accent mats, which will go under your 4x4 photos here. Okay, journal card is flat on this side. And then everything that's left is a photo mat or a piece from in here, which I would say that I popped up pretty much all of them, unless they were teeny tiny. Okay, and the full photo is in your box, or it's in the Facebook group under the files. Okay, so I did that very fast. All right, and that's what it should go together and look like that. Okay, layout D. This one's C. Layout D is our Minnie Mouse bonus layout. For this, it should be, you will need black paper behind the papers that we have cut, okay? Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. Okay, so for this, it is just a black pattern paper that you're gonna lay out here. And then what we have already cut, and I don't know, I can't find the other half of this. I dropped paper on the floor, and so I'm wondering if it flew under my desk. I don't see it. Okay, so you're gonna add your black cardstock to this one. Okay, and then we have our pieces cut that you're going to lay out on either side. Okay, so it ends up going together like this. And then we have one accent card, one title card. Okay, everything else on here, I have them, the stickers are highlighted in red on the actual instructions in the Facebook group. And then from the journal pack, I have this adorable camera, which tucks behind here. Okay, whoops, this card goes here. Okay. And then I think everything else is stickers on that one. Okay. So if you have any questions, please let me know, because I went through that very fast. Like I said, we cut it all together, but it should go together really quickly. You also have the instructions. I would like to say thank you, and I want to break for lunch because I want Tracy to be able to have plenty of time for her class. Tonight, I will be back. I think it's like 5 o'clock my time, 5 o'clock Mountain. And we will need the pile that looks like this, which is pile M, so that we can make our clusters to be able to make a few more layouts. Okay, so if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to post something, or you can message me through Messenger. Otherwise, this was very fun. We got a lot cut in a very short amount of time. If you didn't get caught up with all the cutting, don't panic. You can rewatch this, or you can just print out the cutting guide on your own and work on it. Okay, so enjoy your lunch. I am excited to talk to you again later today. And then don't forget, tonight we will be playing bingo for pins. So if you got the box, you should have the bingo card. All right, everyone enjoy, and I will see you soon.